Hello everyone, it's Dawn Duvall. Let me get my microphone on here. I am a little bit early, believe it or not. Yay! Okay, so when you come on, please list your name when you make your comments so that I can see who's here, and let me know if you're new here, where you're from. Let me get, I think we're good for right now. All right, let me get the comments going. That would probably help, wouldn't it? Oh, Idaho is already here. Wow. All right, hang on. What did I do? Connected to, okay, we should be good. There we go. Hello, how are you? So, I pretty much know who most everybody is when they say where they're from, but if you're new here, please make sure you let me know that and where you're coming from. Hi, Debbie Cox. And let me get my camera situated. So we'll just give it a few minutes. Obviously, I am actually early. I'm doing pretty good about that, aren't I? Usually I was running late. Now I'm like 5 minutes early. So I hope everyone's doing well and staying warm. It is cold here again today in Central Florida. I'm not sure what's going on in the world, but I am not liking it. But it is what it is, and we have to make the best of it. So what can you say? Not a whole lot. We just have to go with the flow. So anyways, but I've got a new set I'm going to show you all this evening. You may have seen some other demonstrators. Not too many, I don't think. I haven't seen too many on Pinterest, but you may have seen them on other blogs or what have you. And we are, gosh, can you believe we're already in the middle of February? It just seems like we just started the 1st of February, so I'm just not sure what's going on. Anyways, all right, let's see, it's 6:58, so we got a few minutes to chit-chat. So what's everybody been up to? Connected, yeah, I'm just making sure I'm reading my camera and making sure that we're all on board here. Okay. So let's see, what do we have to talk about? There's lots of fun stuff going on. How's it? Have y'all, I don't know about y'all where you guys live, but I'll tell you what, we had a neighbor, we have two neighbors listing their house for sale. One, they're moving back to Washington State. Why they want to, I don't know, but I'm sure it has to do with grandchildren. But the other ones are moving to the south end of the Villages. But our house prices have just gone through the roof. It is unbelievable what, let me get my camera situated, what house values are. I mean, we built our house 10 years ago and it's 3 times the value. And I've talked to several people and they're all thinking they may be putting up their houses for sale too, just to take advantage of the market while they can. So it is just crazy. I don't know if that's happening in y'all's world or not, but it definitely is happening here. I think it's happening everywhere. And of course, rates are going to start going up here soon when the feds start raising rates. But, you know, it's just unbelievable what you can get what you can sell your house for. It's just crazy, 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 crazy. That's all I can say. So, all right. Well, we're going to give it a little bit more. It's 7 o'clock, so we'll see. We'll just wait here for a few minutes. And hi, Karen Joe. How's Bradenton? I thought this stamp set, this suite, is going to be something that you would like because you tend to like the same types of things, beachy things that I do. I love this set. Oh my gosh. Wait till you see. And if y'all, have you seen, those of you that are on, have you seen this new, the Waves of Inspiration? Have you seen, or if you're a demonstrator, have you already purchased it? I purchased it. It's been sitting in my stamp room for, I think it was delivered last week. And believe it or not, it sat here for like 3 or 4 days over the weekend. I was busy I've got a new online class that I just put out today. I was busy trying to get that thing out so I can get some stuff going. I'll let y'all know about that. I'm doing the Daffodil Daydream stamp set, using that for the cards. It's all online, so you'll receive 5 videos, 5 full color tutorials. Oh, I do too. 5 full color tutorials, and then you've got the option. I've done 3 options. You can get the stamp bundle included with the kits, or just the kits, or you can just get the tutorials and the videos. You are here, just love this. Oh, I know. And so it's just, so anyways, it's a great class. That way of being, everything being recorded, then you get to work at it at your leisure. And I priced it, I think, pretty, I think considering the amount of time it takes for me to cut everything if you get a kit, but to create the 5 videos and do all the tutorials in itself. So I think the pricing is pretty good. So I just listed that on my Facebook page. So if you haven't seen it, take a look if it's something that you're interested in. We've got a short window. I think I've got the registration closing on the 18th. So you've only got about 4 days if you're interested in registering. And if you don't want a kit or anything like that, I'll probably just leave it open for those that just want to get the tutorials and stuff. So, so anyways, it was somewhat, it got up in the 60s today, so it wasn't too bad. But I tell you what, my husband turned the damn air heater off today, and I kept thinking, why am I so cold? And my stamp room is the front bedroom of this house, and it's the coldest. And so I have a little heater in here, and I was in here working today, and I'm thinking, why is it so cold? Hello from Eustace. Who is that? Let me know who that is. Is it, oh gosh, not Cindy. Hi there. Let me know who you are when you come on, please. But it's the cold, it's one of the cold, I don't know why, maybe because the wind comes from that direction, but, hey, Faye in Virginia. But it is cold in this room, and I'm sitting in here today working. I'm thinking, I am freezing to death. Well, now I know because he turned the heat off, which didn't help matters any. So, anyways, all right, let's give it. I'll give it one more minute. Everybody's popping in, and we've got one card I'm going to start with first, which is going to be the easy card, and then the second one. Oh my goodness gracious! Wait till y'all see it. Donna, how you doing? And so, anyways, I'm really excited about that. So. All right, it's 7:04, so let me go ahead and do my little spiel and go over a few housekeeping things, and then we'll get started. For those that don't know me, I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm located in Central Florida, the Villages. It's an over 55 community, and I have been, actually, I think it's this month, it's 11 years that I've been a demonstrator. Now, I haven't been a demonstrator doing what I'm doing now. When I started, hey Marie, when I started, I just did it to get the discount. And that's the one thing that if you're not aware of and you're not a demonstrator, it's my responsibility to make sure that you know that we have a starter kit sale, basically, if you will. So if you join by the end of this month, so you really need to give some thought to this. But I think if you're a crafter and you and have a need for supplies and stuff, I think this is right up your alley. So to join Stampin' Up during this month, you pay $99. Normally you get to choose $125 in product, which you still do. And then you also get to choose 2 additional stamp sets. So that's going to be at least another $60 value. So you're going to be getting about $185, close to $200 in product. Yeah, about $185 in product for $99. You don't have to do this as a business. They are going to send you catalogs and business supplies. And my recommendation is to put your name on the catalogs and hand them out to people that you know or don't know, because you never know who's going to stamp. Believe me, you cannot prejudge people, because nobody would ever thought that I would do this. And then the other thing is you have from now, if you join, until June before you have to make any meet any certain minimums. So you can get a discount from now through June. If you decide you don't want to go, continue, then you just drop and go back to being either my customer or whoever you may be working with. Hopefully it's me. And then you just lose your discount. That's all. So it's a great way if you're just starting out to get, product that you might need. All right, so that runs through the end of this month, so keep that in mind. And then also, I'm going to flip the camera down for just a second. Let me get down to my table. And this is, and I showed this to you last week. I'm going to show it to you again. This is a February tutorial bundle that I collaborate with other demonstrators. And this month, I'm telling you, it's going crazy. There's 34 projects in this tutorial bundle that if you place a $50 order through my online store and use the host code, and I have that listed on the Facebook page, then you will get these 34 tutorials. And I'm telling you what, they are absolutely stunning. everybody does. And the one thing I like about this is that we all have different styles. And so everybody stamps differently. They have different ways that they do things, putting colors together. And it's great, if nothing else, to use for inspiration. So I think that's an awesome thing. So February, you're going to get 34 tutorials when you place a $50 order through my online store, and use my host code, which is right here. If you can see it, S6MVTNZY. I'll put it right there just for a minute. That's the host code. And I also have that listed on the group page as well. Now, the other thing, with it being celebration, so if you spend $50, not only do you get my 34 tutorial bundle, but you'll also get to choose an item from the celebration book. And you can choose anything from, if it's $50, you can choose stamps, you can choose paper. If you do $100, you can get paper and a stamp set. And then if you do a larger order, you might qualify to get the hostess set. And if my friend is Amy on here, I have your stamp for you, and I'll put that in the mail. So anyways, keep that in mind. So again, we're in the middle of February. We only have 2 weeks left, believe it or not. And for those that are just starting, make sure you check out my Shall We Stamp page. I just loaded in my online class that is running using the new Daffodil Daydream bundle. And you'll also get, anyways, you got 3 choices as far as purchase options. So take a look at that. It might be something that you're interested in. And the registration will close on the 18th. So it's a short time, but it's an online videos with full color tutorials and all of that. So you can do that at your leisure. So you're not going to feel pressured. And anyway, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So now that I've done all of my business, let's get started. Let's get ready to rumble. Let me show you what we're going to use this evening. And then I'm going to show you the whole suite. This is the Waves of Inspiration. And it's a stamp set with 7 stamps. Now, I don't know if anybody, unless my best friend's on here, most of you probably do not know my all-time favorite thing in the whole wide world is the stamp set represents that. And I was so excited. So if you happen to know, hi Judy, if you happen to know what it may be, leave me, put in the comment what you think it might be. All right, let's see if y'all might know me. If not, then I need to start giving you some more information about me personally. So this stamp set is, we've pre-ordered it as a demonstrator, and that's one thing. If you join, if you want to join Stampin' Up and take advantage of our special this month, is you'll get to see new products early. So this is a pre-release of this stamp bundle. It will be in the new catalog in June, and so we do get that as well. We know Pelican. Yes, it is. Pelicans is my all-time favorite. I even have a tattoo of one, but we won't say where that's at. But this is my all-time. When I was in high school, I came to Florida, to St. Petersburg, with my boyfriend, and to visit his grandmother, and she gave me a pelican figurine as a welcome to Florida gift. And I tell you what, that started it. Unable to watch tonight. I think this is the first one for me. Oh no! Well, you can come back and watch the replay. Yes, it is Pelicans. It was the first of an all-time. Everything I did had to have pelicans, and then it got to the point over the years that people were buying me clothing and everything else that had pelicans. I finally had to say stop, stop, stop. So this here is, oh, it's gorgeous. So let me show you. Before I show you the card, let me show you what's in the suite. Okay. And you may or may not have seen this. So give me just a second. Let me pull out my stuff here. So all right, hang on. I got to move some stuff out of the way. I have it organized, but it probably wasn't very smart to do it that way. Okay, so we have this paper. This is the designer series paper. Now this is only limited when it. This is only for until it runs out. I don't know if this is carrying over into the catalog. So if you like this, if you're not a demonstrator, then you need to order this the first of next month. But look at this gorgeous paper. Do you know what the artist did? They poured paint on a canvas, And then they went and after they moved it around, they snapped pictures of it. And that's how they created this paper. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's my favorite colors. You've got Pacific Point in here. You've got Coastal Cabana. You have some Granny Apple Green. I mean, isn't this, look at that. Isn't it's just absolutely stunning. And this one has some of the Coastal Cabana on the back. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this comes in a suite, so you can just get all of this, which I recommend you just go ahead and buy the whole suite, because you're gonna want it. If you don't have it, you're gonna be mad that you didn't get the whole suite, because then when they run out of stuff, you're gonna be kicking yourself in the rear end. Okay, then the next thing, we've got foil. Look at this. Coastal Cabana. Hang on, let me flip it over. Let me pull it. Oops, there's silver. You probably don't need to see, but look at this Coastal Cabana and the blue, and then there's silver. Here's the silver piece right there if you can see it. Do you not love that? Look at that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And there's the silver. And there's 2 sheets of each of this foil paper, okay? All right, and then, hang on a minute. I just dropped my card on the floor. And then the next thing, there are, let me find them. Hang on, I know they're here. Or did I leave them on the other? Oh, here we go. And there's jewels. Let me hook my microphone back up. There are jewels. Aren't these pretty? Oh my goodness, look at that. Aren't those gorgeous? Pretty, pretty, pretty. So that's all part of the suite. So the stamp set, there's 7 stamps, 4 sentiments, the pelican and the wave, and then you've got 10 dies. So you actually have a wave that will go one direction, and this one goes the opposite direction. And then you can cut out the birds flying, the pelican. You got 2 sentiments, and then 4 clouds. Well, there's 2 clouds with the inserts, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Okay, so let me show you the card, the first card, because I wanted to make sure we got this before, in case somebody comes in late. This is the first card that we're going to make. And this is using a piece of basic white. Now, I will tell you, I did a layer on top, and I used a retired embossing folder. I know I'm not supposed to. I didn't have the texture. There's a texture, I think a subtles like type texture, and I didn't have that. So I used this subtle textured embossing folder is what I used. All right, and then I did that on there. We're going to do a little bit of sponging, and then of course we're going to stamp and punch out the clouds and our pelican, and then I'm using the rectangle stitch dies for this piece here and for this sentiment here, and I'll tell you those in just a minute, and then I stamp the inside of the card. All right, so this is the first card. Your second favorite thing is the color turquoise. Yes, who said that? You all do know me, turquoise and teal. You got me down. Who said that one? Put your name in there so I might send you a prize. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. So let's get started. Now, I have pre-cut a lot of the stuff only because, let me get this in here. I didn't want to sit here and keep y'all all night because the second one is a little bit more detailed. I try to keep this one somewhat easy. Okay, so we're using a piece of thick basic white, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm actually going to do the scoring the proper way. So we're going to line this up at 5 1/2, and we're going to go ahead and score it. So let's do that. We'll line that up at 5 1/2. I'm going to make sure I get to my 5 1/2 mark. I have got to clean this. I got glue all over. Do y'all get glue all over your paper trimmer? I do. Okay, so that, and then we're going to take a piece of basic white, and the second piece is going to be at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because what we're going to do, and by the magic of television, I ran it through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and we're just going to lay that over top of the card. I wanted to give it some texture, and again, this one is retired, but you can use any other type of textured embossing folder that you may have at home. So I'm going to line that up on here, and if it's over a little bit, I'll just bring the trimmer in and trim it down. So we're going to go ahead and attach this using our adhesive, and I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. I was looking at what side I want to put this on. Now I'm starting to sweat to death in here. So so I can't complain that it's hot. I got socks on, and my feet don't like, I do not like wearing shoes and socks. So when I have socks on, then my feet tend to get hot, and then I start to overheat. So I'm going to take my socks off. I know. I'm a little strange. I know that. Okay, so we're going to take this, and then we're going to put, this is an easy card. Wait till you see the second one, but I'll show you that when we get done on this one. All right, so we're just going to cover up the whole front of the card with this piece right here, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and I see it's hanging off just a little bit, so I will trim that up, and we'll do that right now. I am late from Virginia. My shoes are off as much as possible. Is that Amy from Virginia? And I'm just going to trim off. Sometimes, you know, when you cut your paper, sometimes it's a little bit off. So you just have to be patient with it. I'm just going to trim it with my paper snips so we don't have that hanging off. And then I'll trim up the side if that's an issue. Okay, so that's that. We're going to leave that right here for now. So we're going to move on. And let's see. Let me bring in a piece of paper. I'm going to leave that right here because we're going to do some coloring here. All right, now the next thing I did was I took the fourth largest rectangle die. So I went from the outside in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I used this one to cut the die. So the fourth one is what I used to cut out this basic white piece of cardstock. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is I'm using a tiny scrap from the designer paper, and this is one that's got the dark blue and the cabana, and then it's got like a peach, like a pale papaya or a coastal calypso coral on the back. And this is measured at, I think I did 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, this is 3/4 of an inch by 2 5/8. So we're going to lay this at the bottom, but before I do that, and before I do anything else, because I don't want to forget, let me go back to my card base here, sorry. We're going to take some twine, and we're going to wrap it around the card twice. Let me do that first before I get excited, and then I might forget to do this. So we're going to wrap it around, and we're going to do it, I'm going to wrap it around 2 times. Let me make sure I've got enough on here. And we're going to tie a bow. And then we should have enough. So let me do that. That way we know that part's done. Because the last time I did that card, I think it was last week, wasn't it? I forgot to put my twine on there. So we'll just go ahead and line this up. I'm going to adjust this. It's always easy to go ahead and tie it first, and then you can adjust it once you get it on the card. We'll slide it. Because we want this bow to be over on the left-hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and just hold that down. And let me get my fingers in here. Hang on a second. I do need to pull that part down. I know, I'm like all thumbs, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get that. And pull that one through. Let me grab it. Yay, it worked. Oh, no, it didn't work, did it? Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so this is what you are not supposed to do. Don't do what Dawn does. You know, you always need like a second hand, right, to do this. So let's wrap that around. I'm going to pull my tweezers in if I can't pull this. I went and got my nails done yesterday, and, you know, I always tell him to cut them short, and when he cuts them short, I always forget I can't, you know, use them like I usually do. Okay, so we've got that there. Let's just slide it over a little bit, and then we'll adjust the bow once we get our stuff on there. I'll pull it down a little bit. So for those that may be new, just hold your finger on the knot in the middle of your bow, and then for the loops, you just want to hold it and pull, and then you can tighten them, and then you can get it whatever size you want them to be. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. All right, perfect. So that way, now we can set that off to the side. Okay, so what we're going to do before we add our strip of designer paper, we are going to do some sponging. So I brought in my colors of Daffodil Delight and Mango Melody, and we're going to sponge this to kind of give it a sky looking effect, and then we'll put the water on so our Pelly can look like he's you know, hanging out by the water. All right, this is Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to lightly, of course you want to start off on a scrap paper, and then just rub it on, and we're just going to rub it around. Get some of that, it's a little too much. So what I'll probably do is lighten it down here, not put as much up here. And we'll bring it down here, and then I'll flip this around. This will be my bottom. All right, so let's just get some of that in there. All right, that'll be my top, so it looks like there's some sky showing, okay? So that's good. I don't want to put a lot. We just want to leave just enough. All right, and then I'm going to come in with my mango, and we're just going to add a little bit of dark right kind of in the center, just to kind of give it a little bit more darkness and depth to it. So we'll just kind of go around the circle here. Now, all right, let's see. I think that looks good because that's going to show through. All right, we'll put some down here. We're not going to see that. All right, so there we go. I'm going to leave that kind of like the sky's peeking through. All right, so we're going to put that off to the side. And then we are going to come in. Now I'm going to add this piece of designer paper, and I'm going to bring this all the way to the end of, let me zoom in a little bit and see if that helps y'all. Kitty litter. Had to skip out and go buy kitty litter. So we're going to put this right on the edge, right to the end of this rectangle piece. And if a little bit's hanging over, we'll trim that off, okay? So we're going to just use our multi-purpose glue. So we're going to go ahead and add that on here. And this paper, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't gotten this, if you're a customer, you better be prepared to get this thing ordered the first when it comes out, because I tell you what, you don't want it to go on back order and then miss out. I mean, it's going to be in the new catalog, so don't get me wrong, but you definitely want to get your paper and the foils and all that stuff. It's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, and I always cut my paper a little bit longer because I want to make sure it goes over my edges. So I'd rather have a little bit too much than not enough. All right, so there's our water for our pelican. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is in the set, you've got these dies right here. And this die, this large right here is your back of the cloud. And then this piece right here will cut out the cloud like an insert. So let me show you. We've got two clouds. We have a little one and then we have a big one. So on the cloud, this little piece right here is what I just showed you. That's going to go, we're going to glue that on the bottom of the cloud like that. So it kind of gives it, I don't know if you can see it. Let me put it on this. You see that? Can you see that? It's not very good. One of the nice things, though, what you could do is if you want to kind of do like a dark and stormy type, you could always color this maybe with the light smoky slate and leave this one white, but this could be the smoky slate to kind of give it like a dark or an evening type look. So something to think about. All right, so let me bring in my silicone mat, and this is, you've heard me say this before, this is a must-have in your stamp room because it keeps you from getting glue on everything. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I'm going to hold my tweezers. Now you don't want a whole lot of glue, and if you've used this glue, you know, all I do is get the glue started, and then I'm just kind of just making little dots to go around, and even taking what I've already placed and just kind of smearing it, because you don't want to have so much on here that it oozes out on your cloud, and then everything else gets funky. So any excess I have, I just pick it up with the tip and then drag it across some of these other pieces. All right, so we want to make sure we got the front of our cloud, which is like this. So this is going to lay down this way. Now, I'm right-handed, so give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and do it this way. I'm going to start and lay it here, and I'm going to get this piece right here, whichever end. I'm going to start with the left side, and I'm just going to hold that down so I can get the rest of it laid down, and then we'll just push on it. All right, and then that's what the cloud is going to look like. Can you see that? I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Does that help any? Look at on the cloud itself. See how you got those little things? Isn't that cool? All right, and then we'll do the same thing for the little tiny cloud. This is a little baby one. Look at this. This is enough. Now, this is where you got to have tweezers. Now, I think I mentioned last week that I got the new of these tweezers at scrapbook.com. They were $3.99. So if you haven't purchased anything, you might want to check them out and see if they're still on sale, because that was a pretty good price, actually. They're normally $8. All right, so I'm going to put my little bit of glue on here. And this, you know, this part's a little tedious, but you want to just take it lightly because we just don't want to get too much glue and have it ooze out everywhere. All right, so we've got our little cloud, and then we're going to lay this one down just like we did the last one. And we're going to start on this side here. And we're going to pop it down, get that off of there. And then we can always slide it. And that's the nice thing about the multi-purpose glue, is it allows you to move it if needed. And then we're just going to push this down just a little bit. All right, so there's our two clouds, okay? Okay, and then I went ahead and used the smallest stitched rectangle die, this one right here, the small one. Oh, let me back out because I'm too far in. This one here to do our sentiment. And I used the sentiment, there's four of them, and I used the one that says your strength is an inspiration. So that's what I used for that. Okay, so before we attach anything, we want to go ahead and stamp our Pelly. So Mr. Pelly is going to get stamped in, and this is just a scrap. We're going to stamp it in soft suede. And I don't need that because we've already used that. And here's Mr. Pelly. He's so cutie. So we're just going to ink him up. And we're going to put him on here so we can cut him out. And I am going to bring the mini die cut in machine so that we can get that cut. And then the other thing I'm going to do while I've got the ink out and the stamp, and we're doing the white cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and stamp just the bottom of the inside of my card. I'm going to go ahead and put the pelican right here in the bottom as well. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with, let me close this up. I'm going to come in with the dark saffron, and I'm going to color his beak. And what little bit of a leg you can see, I'm going to just color that down there. So it just gives him a little bit of color right there. And then we'll do the same thing on this one. And this is the dark saffron blend, Stampin' Blend. Okay. All right, so we've got that. Now let me bring in the mini Stamp and Boss cut machine. So we're going to open this up. Let me get my clouds out of the way so we don't lose them. Because you know what's going to happen. All my stuff will go every which way. Hang on. Let's move this out of the way. Hang on. See, everything is so daggone small, right? We'll move that over there. We'll put the blending pen over there. And we'll get this guy opened up. And sorry about that. I'm jiggling all over. And let's get our die out. So this is our Pelicano. And we're going to lay that right there. And I'm going to use my tape, which I did bring over here. Let me find it. Pardon me. I know it's down here. I just got to figure out what I did with it. Where are you? My husband's making popcorn. I'm going to kill him. It smells so good. I just had my daggone tape here. Hang on. Well, oh, here it is. I put it up here out of the way. Trying to be organized. Okay, so I'm going to use, and again, I think I mentioned this to you all before, the Post-it, labeling, and cover-up tape. This is awesome. It doesn't stick to your paper, so it's a great way to get your dies to hug, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get the pelican laid down here, and we're going to place this on his head to hold that in place, because we don't want it to move, and then which it's doing it because I keep touching it. All right, let's get him in there. All right, we're going to do that, and we're going to put that right there. Okay, so let's bring in our number one. These things are so bowed. I just got ordered with this order some new plates. All right, we're going to lay that guy right there. Put this one on top, and then we're going to run him through. Hopefully, I'm going to do it. I'm not left-handed, but we're going to do it this way. We'll get him cranked through. Come on, Beba. There we go. This one is really a lot easier. The big one's fine, but this one seems so much easier because you're only doing, you know, such small things, right? Okay, so let's pull him out. We'll get this thing out of the way here. Whoopsie, sorry, it's noisy. Nope, not on sale anymore. What is that on sale? Who's not on sale? Okay. Oh, you checked the thing. Oh, gosh. You know what? I knew I should have bought a bunch of those because that was such a good price. I guess maybe they'll come back. Okay, so there's our pelican, right? All right, so let's get this out of the way. I'm gonna put my die back so I don't lose him. Put him back on his little place where he belongs. Okay, now we're gonna start building our card. So what I'm going to do, before I attach this to the card base, I'm going to go ahead and start building my little scene here. Now I want my pelican to hang a little bit off of this, so I'm going to put adhesive. I'm just going to place him down here with regular adhesive. This is going to be popped up on dimensionals, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and add, and you can see I used a scrap piece of paper here. I don't like wasting anything. And let's get a little bit on his head. All right. All right, so let's add the pelly. We're going to put him right about here. And I'll move him right to the edge. We'll put him right there. Oops, lay down there, Bubba. All right, so let's give him a minute to dry. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to place our clouds. Now these are all going to be just using the multi-purpose glue. I'm just going to lay them down with that. So let's start with the little one. And we'll add some glue to the back of this. If we weren't going to pop this up, I'd pop the clouds and everything up. But since the whole thing's going to be popped up, I'm going to leave these flat. So I'm going to lay this cloud, and I'm going to have it coming off just a little bit, because again, it's going to go on the base of the card, right? So we're going to lay a cloud here, and then this one we're going to do the same thing. Put some adhesive on here. All right, I guess I better quit talking and get moving here. We're losing time. All right, and then this one I'm going to leave hanging over just a little bit as well. I'm going to bring it down just a tad. All right, so we got those there. And then I'm going to come in, and I'm not going to add this yet until we get this on the card. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add a couple of little, I don't know, seagulls or whatever kind of birds they are. And I'm using the basic gray ink. And this is the little birdie. You see that? And let's get that out of the way. So I'm just going to stamp a couple. And you just want to be careful because you don't want to, put too much ink and then it smudges. So I'm just going to put a bird here. And then I'll put one like over. Let's get one down. Hang on, I'm trying to make sure I don't. All right, we'll put one there. And then I'm going to put one, maybe I'll put one right over here by this cloud. Okay, so that kind of gives it the effect that they're in the background. All right, hopefully that doesn't cover up when I do my sentiment. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to add this to the back of the card. I'm going to use my dimensionals, and then we'll add our sentiment. And the reason I'm doing it that way is part of the sentiment is going to be on dimensionals, and then the other part will be just with some liquid adhesive, the glue, to attach it to this card since this is going to be popped up. Okay? All right, so we'll take the backings off of this. These new dimensionals, I don't know about anybody else, but I swear it seems like now I'm having a hard time trying to get the whole dimensional off of the back of the pack that it's on. Okay, so we're going to bring this guy in, and I'm going to kind of move my bow out of the way a little bit. I'm going to get him situated, and I'm going to place this. Let me move this up just a little bit. So I'll slide that up right about there. All right, so I'm just going to lay this down. And we'll give it a little bit of an edge on the card. I think we'll go about like that. All right, and we'll push those down. And now this one, I'm going to put dimensionals on the one side, which would be this left side. So where the sentiment starts, I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one right about here. And then this is going to go here. And I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive right here because it's going to be laying right on that part of the card. Okay? All right, so we're going to lay that. I'm going to move my bow down and then I'll adjust him. So we're going to lay that right. Let me put another. No, I think we're good. Let's put him right about there. And then we'll pop that down. And then this guy's like right on there. And then we have our bow. There's our card. Isn't that the cutest thing? So there's our first card. Isn't that cute? Lovely, lovely. And then here's our pelican on the inside as well. Okay, so there's the first one. All right, now let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. All right, I'm going to bring in the stuff to do the next one. Bear with me just a second. Let me get everything moved out of the way here so I have room to move. All right, so this is, let me get my, all right, you ready for this card? Okay, here's the card. Let me move that out of the way so it doesn't distract you. Isn't that beautiful? Now look at this. You ready? It says happy birthday, and then we're going to open it like that. Can you see that? So we're going to close it, and then we're going to open it. Clever, clever. All we're going to do is add a full piece to the regular fold, and it makes a different type of fold. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Do you not look at these papers? Look at it shimmer. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm in love with this paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this card. All right, so this one we're going to use Pacific Point, which is a color I love, and we don't use it. I don't use it as often as I should, and it's probably because we don't have a lot of paper that has that color in it. So let's bring this in. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and let's score. Whoops, we don't want our cutting blade. Let's score at 5 1/2. No, wait a minute. Yes, we're going to do. Let me back it up. We're going to score at 2 3/4. 2 3/4. And then we're going to move it down to 5 1/2. And we'll score at 5 1/2. Okay. All right. Now, with that, then we're just going to do our normal, I guess you'd call it a Z-fold card, right? So let's fold in our center. And let's get that. For some reason, I feel like I got a glare in my eyeballs tonight. I'm not sure. Where's my bone folder? Hang on a minute. All right, so we're going to score that there. And then this one, oh, here it is on this side. We're going to flip it back just like that. Okay, now that's pretty simple, right? So 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, and it's our Z-fold. So we're going to do that. Now the next thing, so we're going to put him aside. We're not going to do anything with him now until we get close to the end, all right? So I'm going to bring in the pieces. I've already cut everything because it is a little meticulous. So let me go through, and this should be my inside piece. So we'll add that in just a minute because we're going to have to stamp that. All right, so the next piece we're going to use is going to be a 4 by 5 1/4, and this is Pacific Point. I'm sorry, it's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, pardon me. So what we're going to do is after we have this thing built, then we're going to lay this and glue it right on the piece right here, okay? So that's how we're going to get our card. So this right now we're going to just set aside. All right, so with this, we've got that. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take a piece of that beautiful paper, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, okay? So this one I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. Don't you just love this? Look at this color. I just hate, isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, look at this. It's just absolutely, and whoever the artist was that came up with the idea to put paint on a canvas, roll it around, and then take pictures, and that's how they came up with these pictures for this paper. Isn't that amazing? I tell you, I do not have that kind of talent. Y'all know that for a fact. All right, so we're going to get this on here. I got to buy me another, I'm using that glue holder that I showed you that we made, I don't know, sometime a while back, but I think I need to get me another one like I have on the desk. I think I'll leave it like this. All right, so let's lay this down. Let's get this on here. And this would look good with Night of Navy too, because that's the darker blue in here. But isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. Love it, and love it. Okay, I think we're good. Let me see. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so there's that. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a piece. Now, in this case, I'm using the Coastal Cabana foil paper. And this is going to be cut at 3 7/8. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then you want to come in with a piece of, now this is the back side. It's similar to this one, but this one has a different background. This one's got that Calypso coral with a little bit of the Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to add this to this piece right here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to place our wave on top of that, okay? So this one is going to run, this piece of designer paper is 3/4 by 5 1/4. So we're just going up like not quite a 1/4 of an inch. All right, and all we're going to do is it's going to go end to end, but we're going to leave like a very small trim around the edges. Okay, so let's go ahead. We can lay this one down because this is good. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're using, now this one might not go as long. It took longer because I had to cut everything. Maybe that's why. So we might be done on time. I tell you guys, you're going to have to get this. March 1st, I think it's available. 1st of March. If you're not a demonstrator, if you decide to join as a demonstrator, then you can get it now. Not as part of your kit, though. You'd have to, I don't know if you could order that as part of the kit. I don't think so. But I would have to find out. It depends on the cost. Okay, so we've got our piece of designer paper on there going end to end. It leaves a little bit, just a smidge, not too much, okay? All right, so now we're going to leave this. I'm not laying that down yet. Now, I went ahead and cut out the wave, and we have two. One that goes this way, and then you have one that will go this way. And I used the Coastal Cabana on this. Now, what I'm going to do, this is another piece in that paper. And I'm going to lay this on, I'm going to glue this on here, and then I'm going to fussy cut, and I think I'm going to do it so it looks like it's got the water in the background. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm just going to fussy cut, and I know that y'all are probably going to go, what in the world? But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to get it lined up so I don't have to cut down here or down here. I'm just going to cut around here. All right, so let's take our craft mat, and this one I've already got glued down, and actually yeah, we'll add that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get this guy on here. So we're going to just lightly, now you could probably use the adhesive sheets, but to be honest with you, it's so intricate, and I think just my opinion, it might be a little bit cumbersome, but if you enjoy using those things, then that's another way that you can get your adhesive on the back of this. But again, I'm just going to take and just lightly go around the areas that are bigger, and then come back and make little dots where I know I'm going to need some adhesive. All right, so what do y'all think? Leave me some comments about this. Do you like this set? I just, this is kind of making me think, gosh, what else is in that catalog that we get to see come June? All right, so I'm just gonna, I know it's a little tedious, but I want to just take my time. I don't want to get too much glue, because if you get glue on the foil and you try to clean it off, it still gives you a smudgy. So we don't want to do that. I don't want to get too smudgy. So I'm just trying to put a little bit on here where I know I'm going to need it, and just trying to touch the areas to make sure that we've got adhesive. And come around here. I know. See, if good thing I cut all this so you wouldn't have to sit here and watch that too, right? All right, so let's see. Hopefully that will be enough adhesive. Let me make sure I got some on this little piece right here. All right, so we're going to pick this up with my tweezers, and we're going to lay this on this paper, and I think I want that to be kind of like the water. So I'm going to lay it down on here, and then I'm just going to start moving it, because I want to get this down to the edge, so that's less stuff that I've got to try to cut. So let me pull it up. I'm just going to try to move it down. That's one thing about this the liquid glue, is it does give you time to move it, and that's what I am going to do. Okay, so perfect. All right, so let's let that dry for just a minute, and then I'm going to come in and see, now my fingers are sticky. I'm going to come in and we're going to cut this with our snips. All right, let me flip this over and just make sure that it's nice and adhered. And we could have done that side, but we've already got that on the back, so I wanted to stick with something a little bit different. Okay, so let's come in, and I'm going to leave a little bit of, you know, like an eighth of an inch, not even eighth of it, maybe a 16th of an inch. Just, I'm not coming right up to it. Well, I am going to come up to it here. But when I come around, I'm going to leave a little bit more of the paper as a border. Okay, so I'm just going to, and again, I'm going to take my time because I really want to follow the shape of the wave. And so bear with me. And I'm getting my scissors opened quite a bit. And again, I'm just going to come around. And we're going to get in here. And then this one I'm going to leave a little bit bigger, I think, just because we're going through this circle area. So I'm going to come around. And we're just going to keep trimming. Hang on, get it. Just slowly going around. And it's just only because this foil is delicate too, so I want to be careful with that. And then here, I'm just going to come up and just go in just a little bit. I'm not going to go in much. And then again, I'm going to come around. Actually, let me cut this off right here because that's getting on my nerves. All right, so then I'm going to come back in. And let me cut this. I'm going to come around this way, and I'll come back and fix that inside when I can get rid of this. Now this one I'm staying a little bit closer. And then we're going to come around this way. All right. All right, y'all still there? Amazing. I know. Can you imagine who thinks of this stuff? All right, now I'm going to come back, and I'm just going to come in just a little bit and kind of cut out and just kind of roll them like what the wave is doing, just to try to give it that same effect. And I'll come back around this way. All right. And then we want to trim that little point off. We don't want that. And then this piece right here is a little bit fatter than what I want him to be. So let's just trim that just a little bit. There we go. All right. So it just gives it a different look behind the water. Okay. All right. So there's our wave. All right. Now we're going to build our card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this to the center of the card, and I'm going to use my adhesive. And then once we get this on there, then we can start building and adding the clouds. Okay. Just think, if you have people who love the beach or the ocean, oh, they're going to love this. They're going to absolutely love this card. All right, so I'm going to center that. I'm going to push it up just a little bit more. Okay. So we've got that on there, and that Calypso coral really gives it a pop too, right? Okay, so now, did I pop this up? I think I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so we're going to pop the wave up. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to use dimensionals on him, or her, however you want to refer to them. Either one's fine. All right, so let's just get him popped up on here. And this is a good, if you have like the foam strips, you know, you could use the foam strips for this as well. And I'm weird because I love to fuss. Oh, you're one of those. Who said that? Who said you're the weird? Yeah, there are people who like to fussy cut. I don't really particularly care. I guess if I could do it better, but I'm not real good at it, because sometimes when I fussy cut, when I have to make like going around something that it curves, I really screw it up, to be honest with you. So. Is that Karen that likes to do that? Who likes to fussy cut? Okay, so I've got dimensionals. I probably put a lot more on here than I needed, but you know what? Why not? We're going to have our wave is going to be waving. And I can just imagine, just think, we could do one. I'm just coming up with ideas. Have the pelican, like he's sitting in the water somehow. I'm not sure how we could do that. We'd have to cut him off the piling. But there's all sorts of things. You know, I'm sure people are going to come up with all sorts of ideas. On how they can do this. I tell you what, that popcorn my husband's cooked, and I was thinking about that earlier, about telling him to make some popcorn. Okay, so we've got our dimensionals on here. So I'm going to lay this right on the edge. I'm just going to lay it right on the edge of here and bring it up to the edge of the of that card. Okay, so we're going to lay it right here, and we're going to get it laid down. All right, now we can start building our other pieces. All right. So now, let me dump out all my little pieces. We're going to put this over there. Okay, So now we're going to, let me get, hang on a minute. Let me get all my little pieces because we got clouds we got to put together. And then we have, we got 2 birds. Okay. And the sentiment. All right. So let's go ahead and build our clouds. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with the sentiment. So let's bring, I don't think I need that. All right. So let's get the clouds organized. So we've got the large one. I did 2 large and then 1 small. All right. Let's move our birds out of the way. They need to go over there. And then this is the small one. So that's going to go on there. And then this guy's going to go on here. So you can see that it's really not that difficult. It's just little tiny pieces that's, you know, they're kind of intricate. And so you got to take your time. Be careful. All right. So I'm weird. All right. So let's go ahead and add, again, we're going to add some adhesive. If I can get it going. I just don't want it to come squirting out. I get too much in here. All right. There we go. I'm just going to make little dots because I think it's easier to make a little dot and then I can come back and kind of squish it around. And we'll do that. Get that over there. And a little piece right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and place this down. And we're going to place that right here at the bottom of the, I'm going to do it this way so I can probably see it better. I'm going to place that right here at the bottom of our cloud. Get on there, baby. Hang on. Okay, so we got him on the cloud. Let him sit for a second. All right, and then again, liquid glue is what you really need to use because it allows you to move these pieces to cover up the edges. All right, so there's one. Now we'll come in and we're going to do the little baby one. We have a little mini cloud, if I can pick it up. All right, so we'll just add a couple of little dots here. So tell me what y'all think. Do you like this set? You know, we have so many flowers, so it's nice that, you know, we get to do some other things, which I'm sure the people in other countries too, they, you know, they probably have things that they like that they're, you know, happy that Stampin' Up's doing. Okay, so we're going to lay this one on here. Again, we're going to lay it down and get it on there. And then I can move it down just a little bit. And get it moved. There we go. I feel like I'm doing surgery, you know? Okay. All right. So that one's there. Hang on, I got to move them down just a little bit. I'm sure it'll be fine. No one's going to see that. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have one last large one that we need to put together. Pardon me. All right, so let's let me hold this one here. All right, so let's get some glue on this one. Y'all still with me? Okay, just checking. All right. Did you guys know, you probably didn't know this, my first blog that I did when I started with Stampin' Up, and I may have told you this, I had a lady design my blog, and she asked me what my favorite colors were and what I liked and all that, and I told her I liked pelicans, and she did my colors, and she did a lady, look like, because I love to dance. Dancing is my all-time, if I could have done that for a living, that's what I would have done. She had done, it was more, she kind of made it look more like a ballerina, and that's not what kind of dancing that I do, but as she had her hand out, you know, how their hands go like that, or whatever they do, she had a pelican off to the flying, and it was awesome. I loved it. And then I was working with a coach, and he's like, what's the pelican have to do with anything? And I'm like, well, something that I like. And he didn't think that was, you know, whatever. So I'm like, oh, well. Okay, so we have our 3 clouds. Now, this piece here, I want to say this is like not even 1/4 of an inch. Let me see. Yeah, this is about 1/4 of an inch, and it's 3.5 inches long. Now, this is one of the die cuts that's in the stamp set, in the dies. You've got a large one. You got this one here, which one is what we're using, and then this is a larger one. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a piece of that Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to push it through, and then we're going to cut the ends to make a tag, and I'm just going to fussy cut them. All right, what I'm going to do is I am going to, did I pop that up too? Yeah, I did. I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive right underneath here, so it kind of holds it in place, not just enough to hold it. And then we'll add some dimensionals to the back. And I'm just going to slide this out just enough before it starts to adhere. All right, so I'm going to hold this down, and then we're going to cut a banner. And for those that haven't done this, you just want to take a small snip right up the center, and then from corner to the top of where you made that slit. Hang on a minute. It's really tiny, so you got to be careful. We're just going to cut there, and then we're going to go from the opposite corner and cut like that, and then just pull off the little pieces, and then we have a little banner there. Okay, so we'll do that on this side. So again, we're going to go up the center and then cut in and then cut in. Okay, all right, so we have our banners. Okay, and now this one we're going to put dimensionals on the back. And I think, let me see if these are too big. No, we'll do, and this will help hold that down as well. So I probably didn't need to add the glue, but I did anyways. All right, so I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on here. All right. Okay, now, so let's go ahead and put this card together, and then we will be done. I'm cute. I'm not sure what I did. All right, so let me get my other birds flying off. They're flying off. They're trying to leave us. Okay, so we want to add our, oh, and I did these on, everybody on this one's popped up on dimensionals. I have to stop and think for a minute. Hang on a minute. Let me bring in my babies. All right, so we're going to do, I can probably put a big one. Yeah, let's do a big one. Then we'll add a couple of little ones. So these are the large clouds. I'm going to put a large dimensional there. And then we'll add, let me flip this guy over. And then we'll, probably could put one there too, huh? All right, then we'll put some of the little mini dimensionals. So we'll put one there. And we'll put one, probably should be using my take your pick tool, huh? All right, and there's that one. Sometimes you get used to using stuff like these tweezers. They're perfect for doing all sorts of things, you know. And we'll put one right there because we want to make sure our ends are going to be held up. And then we're going to take one here and we'll put one down here. I think that's all he needs on there. All right, so that's good. We've got dimensions on everybody. Okay. All right, so now we're going to finish up here. So let's go ahead and add our clouds. So let's take a large one. And let me peel the backings off. Y'all still with me? Oh, look, it's 7:59. We'll be done in like 5 minutes. All right, so this one we're going to place up here. I'm going to put it right on the edge of that card. Right on the edge of the this piece, not that piece. Okay, so we're going to put that one there. And then let's do another one. This is a large one, but we're going to put a smaller one behind. Let me get the little pieces off. Okay, that one's good. And then this one, we're going to kind of put the little cloud down, and then we'll kind of go over it a little bit with the larger one. So let's put that right about there. And then this guy is going to come in, and we're going to kind of go over just a little bit like that. Okay. All right, so far so good. And then we have these little guys. We've got these little silver. This is what I did out of the silver foil. So again, I'm going to hold it with my tweezers. I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive. If I can get it to come out. All right, we'll just put a little bit there. All right, and then this guy, I'm going to put him, I think I'll put, this is the smaller, believe it or not, they've got 2 different sizes. I'm going to put him right about here. Okay, and then this one, he's got the longer wingspan, so I'm going to put him like he's in the cloud. All right, so let's get some glue on this. And then we got one last thing we have to stamp. We're going to do the inside of our card too. So I lied. It's probably going to be 10 more minutes. And let's put him right here on this cloud. So he's going to be in this cloud flying. All right. And then we're going to come in with our basic gray again. As soon as I can locate the basic gray. Oh, there it is. In my bird stamp. Let me find my stamp. I know he's here somewhere. Hang on. Oh, here he is, over here. All right, we're gonna stamp. Oh, let's put our sentiment on here too. Let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll stamp the birds. All right, so we're gonna put this on. We're gonna put this at the bottom. Okay, so we've got that. Whoopsie. All right, we're gonna place that right here. This is gonna be somebody's birthday card. We're gonna put it right about there. Okay. All right, then let's stamp a couple of little birds. If I can get the gray open. Again, we're gonna go back and use our basic gray, and then we're gonna do one last thing. We're gonna stamp the inside, and we're gonna do the actual wave. So let's stamp a bird right here like he's flying near the water. And then let's do another one down here at this part of the water. All right, how's that? Okay. All right, so that's the front of our card. So let's go ahead, and before we do that, hang on, we'll add it here in just a second. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move that off to the side. I'm bringing in the Stamparatus with my, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, my goodness. Here's my marker. Okay, here's a suggestion, and I didn't do it. When you're fussy cutting the paper, you might see the white around there. In this case, I was going to use Coastal Cabana. You could just run it alongside where you fussy cut so that it kind of covers it up. So that's my mistake. I forgot, but you're not going to really see it. But in case there's a lot of white thread showing, that's something that you may want to do. That was hidden. Okay, so we're going to color. We're going to stamp our inside piece with the wave itself, okay? So I am going to lay this down, and we're going to stamp that in Coastal Cabana, which is becoming, I love that color. All right, and I should have this, before I do this, hang on, make sure my card's clean. Yeah, that side. I think it's going to go right about here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going to be right on the edge here. So we're going to put that right about here. I need to start using the Stamparatus more with you guys. Let me just move it over just a little bit because I want to get it straight, and then I'll put the magnet down to hold it in place. Now, if you're not familiar with this, if you're new, this is a stamp positioning tool, and it comes with 2 magnets that are hard as a hard can get, so your paper doesn't move. And you place your stamp on this acrylic plate here, and then you line up how you want it. Initially, this will be clean, and then you will line it up and then push down on the plate to attach the stamp, and then come back and ink it up. And then with Stampin' Up, ours has these hinges, so you can actually lift it up and move it down if you want to stamp happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, or whatever, okay? I know, the shine's beautiful. Okay, so the last thing, we're going to use our Coastal Cabana. Now I'm putting my hand on here at the back, and I'm just going to walk my stamp around to get this inked up. And we want to make sure we get plenty of ink on because we're going to stamp this. Is going to be the inside of the card that our friend or whoever gets this is going to see. All right, so I just want to make sure I get, and you know, you could always come back with like a blending brush or a sponge, Stampin' sponge, and you could actually add some other colors. Like I could, you know, I probably could have brought a sponge dauber and added some of that like Pacific Point or whatever. All right, so we're going to lay this down, and I've got this going right on the edge, and hopefully it's lined up on the edge of the white. And then I'm just going to push down and rub real good. My table is shaking, sorry, my lamp over there. My light's like going, what in the world's going on? All right, so that should be good. All right, let me shut this real quick. We're almost done, ladies. All right, so we're going to pull that up. Now see, I didn't get much there, so I'm going to push it back down. I didn't push hard enough on that. So let's push it down. Let's see if that worked. There we go. That's the nice thing about this, because if you didn't get it inked up, you can pull it out and push it right back in, and it takes right care of it. Okay, so we're going to move this off to the side. Now we can bring in our card. And then the last thing, before I adhere this, I'm going to do another sentiment on the inside of the card. I'm going to use the other sentiment that's in, I put happy birthday. And then this sentiment says you're so totally awesome. All right, so I'm going to stamp that up in the Pacific Point. And I'm going to stamp that right in the wave, right about here. Okay. All right. And then we will, let me see, there's one other thing I need, and I don't want to forget. What did I do with them? Hang on a minute. Where's my jewels? We want to put our jewels on here. What did I do with them? See, when you get to going, you get, you put stuff off to the side, and then you can't remember where you put them. And I know I have the jewels. Hang on a second, because we're going to, after we attach the card, we've got to add our jewels to it. And I know I had them over here, because we used them on the other, oh, here they are. Let me pull them out so I don't forget them. So we're going to add some, we'll add some to the card. No, we're not going to add any to this card. That was the other one. Never mind, forget that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to attach this to the inside of the card. And we are done. So we'll get this done, and then we're going to add our piece to the front. And now you all have a new way. If you're not familiar with this fun fold, now you've got a new way that you can do a fun fold card. I'd not seen this before. And I just got a little bit of ink on that, but we're not going to tell anybody. Okay, so let's push that down. All right, now keep in mind that this, you're only going to put adhesive on this side. Now I did use my seal, but I didn't fill it up, so I'm going to go ahead and apply, and I'm going to apply this because it's going to cover it. So I'm going to apply the liquid glue, and hopefully we have enough on here because we don't want this to come off. All right, so what I do is I'm going to lay that on here, and you're going to line it up, and it should go flat, butted up from the back to the front. And let's let that sit for just a minute. All right, I think we're good. And there you go. There's our card. Look at that. And it opens just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Better late than never. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. We're just done. You just missed out. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. All right, guys. Here are the two cards that we made. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh, my goodness. Look at that. And this is the awesome, these are called the wave dies. And these are, the stamp is the Waves of Inspiration. I know, don't you like that? So it's a Z fold, and then just attach your normal card base, 5 1/4, I mean 5 1/2 by 4, I'm sorry, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And it covers it right up. And then when your person opens it, it goes like that. So there you go. And then here's our beautiful Pelly. Alrighty, so I hope you all have enjoyed this, and I hope I've inspired you to go out when this comes available next month and purchase this beautiful set. Now I also purchased the Seize the Day, so that might be something that I will do next week as well, another oceany one. We'll see how we do it. And then don't forget, place a $50 order through my online store using my host code, and you will receive the tutorial bundle of 34 projects. So thank you so much, everyone. I greatly appreciate you spending Tuesday evening with me. Have a nice weekend, and I will see you next Tuesday with a whole new something. We're not sure what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this. Have a great evening. Bye, everyone. Thank you.